What is the application of multi-dimensional array? Okay, now we are discussing about the basics. So after that, when we started talking about the data frames and all, so on that time you can understand what is the application of the multi-dimensional array. Okay, now we just have to learn what is the multi-dimensional array, what is the single dimensional array, just like this. And after that, when we started our data frames, or when we are discussing about the more about the Python's applications in different projects, on that time we need to save our data set into a multi-dimensional array format basically. So on that time you can clearly understand what is the application of the multi-dimensional array. Anyone have any question about previous class or the last class? Okay, so today we first of all we are revising about the last class, and then we started uh, about the today's topic. Okay, so today we also discussing about the NumPy, because NumPy is not completed in the previous class. So for that reason, today NumPy will continue. Okay. So NumPy is a Python library. It is used for storing from single dimensional to multi-dimensional array element. Num stand for numeric and Py stand for Python. Okay, so this is the 1D array. This is the image of the 2D array, and this is the image of the 3D array. If you want to install NumPy, you have to run this command pip install NumPy. And if you want to import NumPy, you have to import in this way: import NumPy as np. Okay, so first of all, we are creating one dimensional array. Okay, and then we are checking the type of this array with the command type. Within bracket you have to write the name of the array. Secondly, we are storing here we are also creating one numpy array with fixed data type. That one is a float. For that reason we are writing here data type equals to float. Similarly, we are creating one 2D two-dimensional array with two rows. These are the rows, and here we are using one extra bracket here. So for that reason, we are this one is a 2D array. So this is the main difference between the one-dimensional array and the 2D array. When two-dimensional array, in this way you can creating your 2D array. Similarly, we can also create our 3D array. Okay, so if you want to check the dimension of your array, you have to write this command array name dot endim. In this way, you can check the dimension of your array. Similarly, here we are creating a four-dimensional array. So when we are checking the dimension of this four-dimensional of this D array, the output will be 4, because this one is a four-dimensional array. Okay, so if you want to check the shape of the array, you have to write the array name dot shape. Shape means it will print the number of rows and the number of columns in the array. Okay, so b dot shape output is 2 comma 3, because this containing the 2 rows and 3 columns. For that reason output is 2 comma 3. 2 here is number of rows and 3 here is number of columns. Here the C array. So when we are checking the shape of this C, the output will be 3 comma 3, because here we are here array containing 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, similarly, if you want to check the data types of your array, you have to write a dot d type. D type, within this command you can with the help of this command you can know that what is the data types which are containing in the array. Here the output is float, because our a array containing the floating data types. Okay, so now today we started about how to accessing the array element. Okay, so this one is the new topic for today. So here we are creating one two-dimensional array here. This one is our two-dimensional array. This two-dimensional array containing two rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Two rows and 7 columns. Here we are creating one two-dimensional array with 2 rows and 7 columns. So when we are checking here the dimension of the array, the output will be 2 because this is the two-dimensional array. If you want to extract, if you want to extract a specific array element from this array, you have to write the index of that array. Suppose you want to extract this four element from this array. So what you have to write? You have to write here a 0 comma 3. Why 0 comma 3? 0 means this 0 represent the row number. This one a first row is 0th row, and this one is the first row. This one is the 0th row, this one is the first row. So we want to extract the fourth from the first row. So for that reason we have to write 0 comma 3. 3 means uh, third columns, sorry, fourth columns, because 0 1 2 3. So for that reason we have to write here 0 comma 3. 3 is the column numbers, column index, and 0 is the row index. So if you want to extract the this 4 from this array, you have to write this a 0 comma 3. So after this class you can try with your own, you can change this index number, and you can try by your own. So from that you can understand how to extract a specific array element with the help of the index. Okay, next we want to extract 8. Okay, so what is the 8th position? 8th position is the second row and the first column. What is the 8th position? 8 is from second row and first column. So for that reason we have to write name of the array and within brackets we have to write 1 comma 0. 1 means here this one is the second row, this one is the first row, this one is the second row, this one is the 0th row, this one is the first row. So for that reason we are writing here 1 comma 0. Why 0? Because 8 is our first element, 0th element, 0th column element. So for that reason 1 comma 0. 1 is the row index, 0 is the column index here. Similarly, if you want to extract 13 from here, you have to write 1 comma 5. 1 is our row index and 5 is our column index. So this one is the first row, this one is the second row. So here we have to write 1 because 0th row and the first row, 1 comma 5. So for that reason output is 13 here. Okay, similarly if you want to extract all the elements of the first row, all the elements of the first row, not any particular element, all the element of the first row, then you have to write your array name, and within bracket you have to write 0 comma semicolon. Semicolon means all the columns, all the columns, not any particular columns, all the columns of the first row. 0 here represent the row index, and here we are just writing the semicolon here for extracting all the columns of the first row, all the columns. For that reason output is this here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It will extract all the columns of the first row. If you want to extract all the if you want to extract all the columns, all the elements of the first column, okay, all the elements of the first column. Here we are extracting all the elements of the first row. Similarly, if you want to extract all the elements of the first column, then you have to write here semicolon comma 0, because we want to extract all the elements of the first column, but no all means all the rows element and the first column. We are only specifying here the name of the column here, and we are want to extract all the elements of this column. The first column elements are 1 and 8. So for that reason output is 1 and 8. Okay, so here we are again printing our all the elements of the array. So for that reason you have to write the name of the array element. Okay, so if you have any question from this, you can ask me the how to accessing the elements of the rows and the columns. Okay, so after this class you can practicing by your own, and you can playing with this array, just changing the name of the row, name of the column, and you can try by your own. After trying by your own, you can properly understand and properly means learn how to create the array elements, and how to accessing from the array elements. Okay, so if you have any question from this part, you can ask me. If anyone have any question, please ask me. Hello, I'm audible. If no question, then please message me that clear. Okay. So next part. If you want to create zeroth zeroth array, zeroth array means all the elements of the array are zero. Okay. So if you want to create zeroth array, okay, with the perfect row and with the specific row numbers and with the specific column numbers, and if you want to create the zeroth row with specific row number and the column number, you have to run this command np dot zeros, within bracket you have to write your specific number of rows and specific number of columns. Here we are creating the zeroth array with 3 rows and 3 columns. So for that reason, we are writing here 3 comma 3, because here we are creating zeroth array with specific 3 rows and the 3 columns. So for that reason, we are writing here np dot zeros. Zeros. Why we are writing here zeros? Because we are creating here all the array elements with the zero, all the zero array element only. So for that reason, we are writing here np dot zero 3 comma 3. Why 3 comma 3? Because here we are creating the array with specific number of rows and specific number of columns. Our array number is here 3 comma 3. Okay. Similarly if you want to create all the array elements with one, all the array elements containing one, then you have to write np dot ones 3 comma 4. 3 here is our row number, 4 here is our column number. Okay, so in this way you can create zeroth array and the one array with your specific row number and the column number. If you want to create your array with, here also here one rows and the zero rows are present here, but these are the floatings, because the output of this here like this, 1 comma dot dot, because these are the floating point data types are present here. If you want to create ones array which are containing all the ones with integer data type, then you have to write similarly, then you have to write data type equals to int 32, because here we are creating all the array elements one, and ones are all the integer. So for that reason you have to write np dot ones 3 comma 3 data type equals to int 32. Okay, so here we are creating one specific data type. Also we are specifying our data type. If we are not specifying our data type, our output will be the floating points. Okay, so because here we are using this function zeros ones, so for that reason the output containing the floating points. If you want to specific your data type here, here we are specifying our data type integer 32 means integer. So for that reason our output is containing all the ones, and these all ones are integer one. Okay, these all ones are integer one. Similarly if you want to create the array with any specific number, not 0 not 1, with any specific number, with any specific integer number or any specific floating point numbers, then you have to write np dot full, because we want to full our array with 50. Here we are specifying our array element 50, not 0 not 1. If you want to create the array element with the 0 and the 1, you have to write np dot zeros np dot ones. Here we are creating our array with any specific integer 50. So for that reason our output is like this 50, and here we are also specifying our data type equals to float 64. So for that reason output is like this. Here we are creating the array with a specific integer 50. Okay, So for that reason, you have to write np.full. Similarly, if you want to create a specific array, if you want to create a specific array with any specific integer, uh, like 25, so for that reason you have to write np.full 3 comma 325 type equals to integer 32. So after that your output is like this. Okay, so if you want to create an array with all the zeros element, you have to write np.zeros, and within bracket you have to specify your row number and the column numbers, which specific number of rows and the number of columns you want to create. Similarly, if you want to create the np. Means once array, all the array elements are containing the ones, then you have to write 3 comma, then you have to write np dot ones, and here 3 comma 4 is our row number and the column number, 3 is our row number, 4 is our column number. Okay, if you want to create a array with np dot ones with integer type data, not floating point, then you have to write the type equals to integer 32. Similarly, if you want to full your array with any specific integer, then you have to write np dot full. Within this bracket, here we are specifying the number of rows and the number of columns. After that, we are specifying our integer which we want to use here. Here we are using 50, and after that we are specifying our data type. Data equals to 64. Similarly, here we are creating the array with 25. Okay, so after that your output is like this. Similarly, if you want to create the array with any random number, not any specific number, any random number, so for that you have to write np.random.rand, comma 4, comma 4. 4, comma 4 is our row name and the column names, row numbers and the column numbers, means this number of rows and this number of columns you want to create here, and random because here we are want to create a array with random integer. So for that reason we have to write np.random here. Okay, okay, so in this way you can also try by your own. Okay, changing the integer here, changing the data types here, and also you can try with this np.random. Okay, so if you have any question from this portion, you can ask me. Okay, so no question from this portion. Okay, try by your own. Okay, after this class you have to try by your own. Okay, that one is the must, because otherwise you can't learn anything. You have to practice by your own. From the video you can under means just write the code from the video, just pause. All the videos are available in the website youtube channel. You just have to pause your video and write from the video to in your google colab notebook, and then you have to just run that one and practice and playing with this numpy library. Okay, otherwise you can't learn anything. Okay, here we are creating another one dimensional array here, np.array, and these are the array elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, suppose you want to do a sum operation here, means adding. If you want to add 2 plus 2 to each and every array element, then you have to run this command a plus 2. Here you are, if you want to increase 2, increase by 2 each and every array elements, then you have to write a plus 2 like this. Okay, so after that our output is 3, 4, 5, 6. Why our output is like this? 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 2 4, 3 plus 2 5, 4 plus 2 6. So if you want to add or increase your each element of the array, then you have to write a plus 2. After that your output output will be like this. Okay, okay, if you want to find the minimum element present in the array, which one is the minimum element in this array, you have to write this a dot min. So after that our output is 1 here, because our array is this one. So 1 is our minimum element in this array. So for that reason, our output is 1 here. If you want to extract the maximum element from this array, you have to write a dot max. You have to write a dot max. So which one will be our maximum element? 4 is our maximum element. So for that reason, output is 4 here. If you want to calculate the mean, if you want to calculate the mean of these all array elements, you have to write name of the array dot this mean function. It will give you the mean of all of the array element. We all know the mean. What is the meaning of mean? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 by 4, number of adding all the array elements by the number of array elements. This one is the mean operation, we all know. Similarly, this one is our two-dimensional array. Here all the operation are on the one-dimensional array. Here all the operation on the one-dimensional array. Similarly, here all the operation on the two-dimensional array. Similarly, you can do all the operation on the multi-dimensional array. You have to try by your own with the multi-dimensional array. Okay. So here this one is our 2D array. Here this one is our 2D array. Okay. Here we are creating one 2D array, and we want to extract the maximum element from this array. We have to write np dot max, and within max you have to write name of your array. Okay, here we are just writing here for 1D array, we have to run this command, name of the array element dot mean function. When we are doing the same operation on the multi-dimensional array, or the more than where more than one dimension are present, you have to write this command like this, np dot max, and within the max you have to write your array name. Here a is our two-dimensional array. So which one is our maximum element from this array? 8 is our maximum element from this array. So for that reason, output is 8 here. If you want to extract minimum element from this array, you have to run this command, np.min a, and 1 is our output because 1 is the minimum element from this array. If you want to do the mean operation on this array, you have to do this np.mean, and within this bracket you have to write your name of your array. So for that output is like this, because here we are calculating the mean operation on this array. Similarly, if you want to know the, if you want to run the, if you want to summing up all the array elements, for that reason you have to write np.sum a. These all commands are for where more than one dimension are present. These commands you have to write np.max, and within this bracket you have to write your array name. And if you want to run this command on the single dimensional array, then these are the command for that. Okay, so here the basic numpy is covered here. Okay, so basic numpy is covered here, but you have to try your own and practice by your own. And if you have any question from this whole numpy things, you can write here. If you have any question from whole numpy notebook, you can ask me now. How we calculate the median and the mode is with the help of the numpy. Okay, so you can try by your own. In the next class I will give you the answer. You can try by your own. You can start the same thing in the Google, and you can try by your own. If you can't solve that one, then the next day I will help you, because in this way you have to learn. I can't tell you all those things. You have to learn by your own. Okay. All these things, random distribution in numpy, you have to try by your own. If you can't find anything, in the next day you note down this question, and the next day you will ask me. Okay, you have to try by your own. This curiosity is very important, and you search these things in the Google. All the things are available in the Google. You have to, your learning ability will be increased by this. You have to try by your own. And if after that, if you have any question, then you can ask me. Ma'am, where we can learn, where we can watch the recording of these live sessions. So all the live sessions are video links are available in the group. So anyone have any question? This the up to this NumPy and these new functions you can also search in the Google and you can learn from that. So after that, if you have any question, we can also discuss about that. But we are covering here how much NumPy or how much Pythons are related to the data science and the data analytics, not more than this. And obviously, the curiosity is a good thing, but you have to search and you have to learn, because in this way your learning ability will be increased, and you also means very much capable of doing anything. Okay, so try to solve these types of things by your own. Okay, these new functions and all these things, just try by your own. Otherwise, if any question on this means notebook, from this notebook which I have covered here, you can ask me. Because if I am covering all the numpys and all, then not enough time for me for covering the whole the data science course and the data analytics course. Okay. So which topics are we are covered till now? So we are covering here the Boolean function, and we are also covering the logical operation with the help of the Boolean function. We are also covering the list. Okay, we are also covering the comparison operator, dictionaries, tuples, and the set. Okay, so we all know the Boolean functions. Boolean function output will be obviously the true and false. These are the some built-in functions are available in the Boolean functions. Okay, these are the example of the logical operation with the help of the Boolean functions. Okay, and these are the this in this and here is the example of the list. Here is the example of the list append function, list insert function, list extend function, and also with the pop function. With the help of the pop function, I can delete the list element. Okay, and the count function in the list, and these are the commands for the finding the minimum element and the maximum element in the list. Similarly, we are also discussed about the set, how to we are initialize our set variables, how we can create a set, and these are the set operations. The intersection over the set. You have to try the union over the sets. Okay. So here we are also discussed about the dictionary, how to create your dictionary. Dictionary contain two things, key and the value. We also discussed about the nested dictionary, that one is also covered. We also discussed about the tuples. We know how to create a tuples, and how to means adding elements to the tuples, and also the tuples count function, and also the tuples index function. So we covered this one, and we also covered the numpy here. So today we started with a new library, that one is pandas library. Okay, so so we are discussing about how to create a data frame and also the data series. Okay, so this one is means very interesting thing, the data frame and the data series. So for creating the frame and the data series, you have to use this panda. Okay, you have to use this pandas library. So how we can import this pandas library? You have to write this commands: import pandas as pd. You have to write this command, because if you want to create a data frame, you have to import both of these, pandas and the numpy. With the help of the pandas and the numpy, we can create a data frame. So for that, you have to write import pandas as pd and import numpy as np. So here we are creating our first data frame. Here we are creating our first data frame. Okay. So for creating a data frame, you have to write df is your data frame name equals to, here we are writing pd dot data frame. Here we are creating a data frame, pd dot data frame. And how we have to create a data frame? You have to write this np dot arrange 0 to 20. Why we are using here arrange function? Np, we know the numpy, we all know about the numpy. So for that reason, we are writing here np dot arrange and 0 to 20, because we are here specifying our range of the array elements. Array elements range from will be 0 to 20. So for that reason, we are specifying here our range of our array elements 0 to 20 dot reshape, because we want to reshape our data frames with the help of the numpy 5 comma 4. 5 comma 4, 5 will be our row number and 4 will be our column numbers. Okay, 5 will be our row number, 4 will be our column number. So our data frame containing all the elements within a specified range, that's range we are specifying here. Data frame with 5 row and the 5 columns, 5 row and the 4 columns. So for that reason, here we are writing 5 comma 4. Here index equals to name of the rows. Here we are presenting the name of the rows. Index equals to, here we are presenting the name of the rows. Okay, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, these are the name of the rows. You have to write the name of the rows within this bracket, within this square bracket. You have to write the name of the rows. And how we can initialize the name of the rows? You have to just write index equals to, within square bracket you have to write name of the rows. Similarly, here we are initializing the name of our columns, because here we are creating a data frame. So for that reason, here we are writing the name of the columns. How we are writing the name of the columns? Just you have to write columns equals to, within the square bracket you have to write the name of the columns, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. These are the name of the column, these are the name of the rows. This reshape function here we are using for we are for number of rows and the number of columns we want to use. That one is a 5 comma 4. 5 is our row number, 4 is our column number. And here, with the help of the arrange function, here we are arranging all the data frames number must be within the specific range 0 to 20. So in this way, you can create your data frame. Okay, so if you want to print your data frame, you have to write df.head. df.head. This one is our data frame here. All the elements within range 0 to 20. All the elements are within a range of 0 to 20. Here our rows are, the number of rows are the 5, because here we are specifying 5 and 4. For that reason, our all the column numbers are here are 4, because here we are writing here the 4 within the, these are the index name. We are also initializing our row names here within the index square bracket. And here we are also specifying the columns names within the column square bracket. So this one is our data frame. So this one is our first data frame we are creating with the help of the panda and the numpy. Panda and the numpy, with the help of these two frameworks, panda and the numpy. So if you have any question up to this, you can ask me. If you have any question about the first portion of the data frame, you can ask me. Is how to create a data frame. If you have any question about that, you can ask me. So if you have no question, just write down clear, because this one is a new concept, data frame. So I am also confused you are understood or not. So for that reason, just write clear. Number of two students are present here 38, and only answering my question two, three, four students. So how can I understand you are all present in this class? We have to write that no question clear, just like this. Everyone have to write. Otherwise, I can't understand that you are all involving in the class or only these three. Okay. So in this way, you are creating your fast data frame. Okay. So here we want to extract all the elements of our row 1. Only row 1. We want to extract, if you want to extract or accessing all the elements of your row 1. Only single row, but this 4 columns element. All the elements of this row 1. So what will be our output? Column 1 0, column 2 1, column 3 2, column 4 3. Okay, if you want to extract all the elements of your row 1 containing which elements, you have to write df.loc. Loc is basically a function for location. df.loc, and within the square bracket you have to write your row name, because you want to extract all the elements of the row 1, only one row. This I am specifying here, only one row. We are only extracting here the row 1 elements, not other rows element, only row 1 element. Okay, so when we are checking the type of this, when we are checking the type of this df.log r1 means which we are accessing or extracting, when we are checking the type of this, output will be the series. Output will be the series. Okay, so we are already discussed, means here we are only not discussing about the data frames, we are also discussing about the data series. So these are basically the data series. Our row 1 which we are extracting from the row 1, only the one row which we are extracting from the data frame, that one is data series. This one is this one, this row 1 elements are data series. So data frames, only one rows elements are the data series. Okay, so here we are extracting only one row. So when we are checking the type of this one is a data series. So we are discussing here both things, data frames and the data series. So data frames, one rows elements are storing here as a data series. So this one is our data series. Okay, so if you have any question from this, you can ask me. Here we are checking the type of this one, which one we are extracting from the row 1. Here we are checking the type of this one, and output will be the series. This one is the data series. This one rows elements are the data series. Okay, so if you have any question from this, you can ask me, because these are the very important things from the which are means. Okay, no doubt. This one is the very basic things we are means started working here. Very basic things for the data frames, and these are very important for the data science. Okay, so if you want to extract all the elements of all the rows and all the columns, you have to write this. If you want to extract all the elements and all the columns, all the rows and all the columns elements from your data frame, you have to run this command df.iloc, and within square bracket you have to write the semicolons, because we want to extract all the elements and all the elements of the data frames, all the rows elements, all the columns elements. So for that reason, here output, you have to run this command. If you want to extract, if you want to extract all the elements of the uh, all the elements of all rows and all the elements of the one from one to, not from, if we are writing here from zero semicolon in it is acha, okay. So from here we are this first semicolons comma means all the rows element, and we are specifying here the columns number from zero semicolon means from started from zero columns to four column, our last column means. For that reason our output is like this, from zeroth column to all columns, okay. If you want to extract from one means second column to the last column, just you have to write like this. So here we are extracting all the rows, but the not all the columns. We are starting our columns range from one columns. We are starting our columns range from one column. So for that reason you have to write this df.ilog. Okay, df.ilog. If you want to extract, if you want to extract the values, not the name of the rows and not the name of the columns, only if you want to extract the values of your data frame, or if you want to extract the values of your data frame, and if you want to convert your data frames into a array, and if you want to convert your data frames into a array, then you just have to write df.ilog, which we are already writing here, df.ilog dot values. Using these commands you are converting the data frame into array. Within this command, with the help of this command, you are converting the data frame into arrays. So for that reason you have to write this command. We all know what is the meaning of this df.ilog, and with the first one is the semicolon. We are writing here the semicolon because we want to extract all the elements of our all rows elements. We want to extract all rows elements, and our column range are starting from here one, and we are column range are starting from here one, and here we are not ending, we are just writing here semicolon means all the elements of the columns up from starting from one to last one, starting from one to last one. So for that reason you have to write the semicolon here. And if you want to convert this data frame into the array, you just have to write this command dot values. You just have to write command dot values. Okay, so if you have any question up to this, you can ask me. If you have any question up to this, you can ask me. Please explain again. Which portion? Which portion I have to explain again? Just write the name of that portion. iLog. Okay. With the help of the iLog function, we are mainly extracting or accessing the values of the data frames. We are extracting and the accessing of the value of the data frame. Okay. So here we are writing df.ilog. ilog, and within the square bracket we are writing here semicolon comma semicolon. Semicolon only semicolon means all the elements of the rows, and here in the column portion we are also just only writing the semicolon here for extracting all the columns elements. All the, here first semicolon means all the rows element, here second semicolon means all the columns elements. Okay, so for that we are writing here semicolon comma semicolon. So within this ilog function we are extracting the elements from the data frame. So here we are extracting all the elements of the rows, all the elements of the column. So for that reason we are writing here semicolon comma semicolon. If we want to extract all the rows element, but we want to extract we want to extract all, not all the columns element, we want to extract from the second column to the last column element, we want to extract from the second column to the last column element. So for that reason we are writing here one semicolon, semicolon comma one semicolon. One means we want to extract from the second column to the last column. So for that reason, we are writing here 1 comma semicolon. If you want to extract from the first column to the last column, you have to write 0 semicolon. You have to write 0 semicolon. But here we want to extract from the second column to the last column. So for that reason, we are writing here 1 semicolon. So after running this command, our output will be this one. Okay. So if you want to converting all the data frames elements to values, or sorry, all the data frame elements to array, then you just have to write df.iloc. We all know about this command. We all know about this command. So we just have to write this command dot values. So with the help of this function, we are converting data frames into array. We are converting data frames into array. Okay. Okay, so if you have any question about from this data frame portion, you can ask me. Any question from this data frame portion, you can ask me. Up to this. So next day, tomorrow, I will start from here. Tomorrow, I will start from here. Okay, df dot column value count this, because this one is a very basic portion. So I am not covering all these topics quickly. Okay. So why? So what are the new things we will learn from here? We will learn here how to create a data frame with the help of these two frameworks, Pandas and the NumPy. We are also know that one row of the data frame containing a data series, one row of the data frame containing the data series, because here when we are checking the type of this, our output will be the data series. So we are one row of the data frame containing the data series. We all know the what is the iloc function and how to extract the elements using the iloc function, and we all know about how to converting data frame into array. We all know about the data frame, how to converting the data frame into array. Okay. Data frames and the data series, these are the basic things of the data science. If you have any question about up to this, and if you have any question from the numpy which we are using in this ipynb file, you can ask me. And also in this portion, these tuples, you have to practice by your own. You have to try create your own data frame. You have to try to create your own data frame and try to extract like this lock function. You at first you try with this playing with this lock function, and after that you have to also check the type lock function. Within this lock function, you can write for an example, you can also write the column one. So what will be the output for that, and you have to check the type of that one. Okay, so you have to play by your own, and you have to play with this iloc function also, just changing, and also use the specific number of rows, specific number of columns, row number starting one from one position to one position. You have to play with your own. Okay. Ma'am, how can I display only the third column? You try. You can do this one. It's very simple. You can try by your own. we have lab in this internship? I can't understand this question, because here we are not covering any theory. These are all the practically we are means covering all these things. We are means here we are all the things are practically we are covered. So this one obviously a lab. So tomorrow we will discuss more about the data frames, and up to tomorrow you have to try by your own and practice. Please practice, everyone. You have to practice. Just wait for 1 minute. I will ask them. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for joining. This all will be covered. EDA also covered. Also covered. We'll all cover this.